Park earlier in the year. Adam Stevens, I think, hit about 6 3-pointers. James Abramson can also hit from out there. So they're going to have to get a man-to-man defense or really spread out his zone to try and get out there and shut that down. And finally, it was going to be frustrate Jeremy Lane, but he's not going to be in there, so they're going to have to frustrate Mike Vance, who can also work inside pretty well. They're going to have to push him away from the basket, make him feel a little bit uncomfortable with each shot.
For the Irondale Knights, it's Mike Vance versus whoever. Now with Lane out of the game, we know Mike Vance is going to have to take on Mark Sipple. It's simply a matchup of height versus height, but Sipple, of course, more physical than Vance, and Vance will really have his hands full in this one. Lane must neutralize Sipple, and that on the other end of things is going to be a lot of fun because Sipple, as we said, very big and very strong offensively. And the third, you cannot let the Mounds View Mustangs get running because if they start the outside game and the inside game working, there's only one facet of their game that's left, and if they get the running game going, it's pretty much lights out for the Irondale Knights tonight. Well, that's our pregame from Mounds View Senior High School. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening tip-off right after you see this. The Irondale Knights and the Mounds View Mustangs prepared to do battle here in the North Suburban Conference. Along with Steve Glynn, this is Charlie Stellick, and we're ready to give you the starting lineups for tonight's game for the Irondale Knights and the Mounds View Mustangs. Let's first of all go with the visiting Irondale Knights. The Knights coming into this game at 10-5 and 5-4 in the conference, respectively. Knights, of course, without Jeremy Lane tonight, and there it's reflected in the lineup. Wade Copeland wears number 13, a starting guard. Adam Stevens, his counterpart. Mike Vance at number 5 will play at center, probably. James Abrahamson at a forward position, and Rocky Hansen will take over at the other forward position. And there they are, the number 1 team in the state, the Mounds View Mustangs, 15-0, 9-0 in the conference. It's been a week since they've played a game. And that was a game they won against St. Francis. Let's take a look at their lineup. Their lineup tonight, they'll start with A.J. Ecker at number 23. He's a 5'11 guard. Chip Myers at number 25 at the other guard. Dusty Becker and Ben Ruth are the forwards, number 35 and 45 respectively. And at center, Mark Sipple, number 55, and he will be the key to this game now, Steve.
No doubt about it. If Mark Sipple has a good game, he's got the experience. Mike Vance has been on the varsity a couple years, but really doesn't have the playing time that Jeremy Lane did. We were expecting a great matchup tonight, but you know, in a situation like this, somebody like Mike Vance just might step up that little extra bit and really play a great game.
There you saw Zig Calls in his 22nd year at the helm of the Mounds View Mustangs, and there into that huddle goes the first-year head coach Chuck Gunderson, and there you saw Jeremy Lane. He's in the t-shirt just behind Chuck Gunderson, and boy, would he love to have him on the floor now. But that's the breaks of the game, and we're ready to get started with it. It'll be Sipple and Hansen jumping it up. Check that, James Abrahamson. So Abrahamson and Sipple jump it up, and it comes to the Irondale Knights on the initial possession. Mike Vance with Sipple on him. Sipple got a hand on it. Ball being scrambled for, and it ends up in the hands of Ben Ruth.
Well, Mike Vance not a ball handler. Should have just passed that ball off to a guard right away.
A.J. Ecker looking for it, looking to give it to somebody. He gets it off to Chip Myers.
Irondale in a man-to-man, like we expected, try and shut down some of that three-point shooting.
Now the zone just simply does not work against Mounds View. They simply shoot right over the top of it. Sipple looking to set a pick on the strong side, but nobody was banking towards him. Mounds View will reset it. They're being patient. Sipple and Vance, the matchup underneath that we'll have to watch. The ball comes past. That was a brick, and Vance had his hands on it first, but it comes to an Irondale player, and that's Adam Stevens.
Dusty Becker, one of the better outside shooters for Mounds View, but that time didn't even draw iron.
They had a man open at the top of the key, but not taking the shot is Hansen. Here's a big three. That's underneath, almost an alley-oop type play. The return put up by Copeland, and it doesn't fall. Back up the floor come the Mustangs. Pull-up jumper is good by Chip Myers. Big drive on the other end.
Wade Copeland goes end to end.
So both teams setting up an offensive strategy. Myers is hot to start.
Streak shooter, as I mentioned, 5 of 7 3-point range against St. Francis.
Don't think Irondale knows it. Ball tipped as it tried to get into the paint. Back up the floor comes Ecker. Ecker looking for some traffic in back of him. It clears out. They try the shot to Sipple, and Sipple, oh, if he gets to do that all night, Steve, we're going to have a very long game.
Well, Irondale doing exactly what they want, or I'm sorry, Mounds View, shooting from the outside, spread out that defense a little bit, get the ball inside to Sipple where he can work.
Vance with Sipple on him, tries to get it inside. Ball came off a couple of hands. Now it ends up in Hansen's hands again, and Frank White calling the hack.
Dusty Becker, I believe.
Frank White, one of the referees here tonight, one of the best in the state of Minnesota. By all acclamation, his partner tonight, Bill Peterson.
Ben Ruth, number 45, the foul.
First personal and first team foul. And with that, we've got a 6-4 game. Sipple turns around, Vance on him, and Vance draws the charge. Second team foul and first personal on Mark Sipple, so that's a revelation.
Well, Zig Call is not exactly agreeing with that call. I don't blame him. I think that Vance was moving.
Getting loose for the pull-up jumper is Wade Copeland. He's got his second bucket of the night. 6-6 tie, Mounds View and Irondale. 5:06 left in the game, or left in the first period, that is. Shot put up from the outside. This is what Mounds View is exceptionally good at, but they're not hitting too many right now. Copeland, big drive up the middle, but nobody there at the bottom to take it. And catching a break are the Mustangs. As
Rocky Hansen was reaching in there. Irondale's really trying to push the pace of this game. They'd like to get into a running game. Haven't really seen Adam Stevens touch the ball yet.
And Stevens is the man you'd think that they would put up against the outside shooting of Mounds View. Mounds View moving very quickly without the ball. High jumper, that doesn't fall. The return shot is put up. That bounces off the back of the rim, and Vance comes up with the ball. Becker, cold so far. Inside to Vance. Vance, turnaround shot. Over the top of Sipple. 8-6 in favor of the Irondale Knights. 4 minutes left on the clock here in the first.
Irondale doing a nice job so far with their man-to-man. Boom.
Well, we said Dusty Becker was cold. He just refuted that notion. Puts up a tray, and very quickly, Mounds View up 9-8.
And that was well past the three-point line.
Sure was. Pass intended for Vance, but he wasn't backing to the paint. Picked off by Sipple. Another three-pointer. Another boom. This time it's A.J. Ecker.
We mentioned they got a number of people that can hit him.
Ball bounced off the foot of a Mounds View player. It'll be Irondale ball. Coming into the game for the Mustangs, number 53, John Roach, a 6'5 senior, and Sipple will sit down. Well, Copeland wants to take things into his own hands, but that time not up to the task. Roach comes down with the rebound. And back up the floor come the Mounds View Mustangs. Ryan Ronsky also in the game for the Mustangs, wearing number 41. There's another three-pointer, but that's off target. Ball scrambled forward, comes to Vance. Vance, Irondale wants to run, and that's a walking violation.
Becker back here for the Mustangs. For a second, for the Knights.
Mike Merced now in for the Knights. Merced wearing number 45. He's a 6-foot junior. 12-8, the Mounds View lead at 2:56 here in the first period.
2-3 zone now by the Knights.
I think they're waiting to see if Mounds View will put up the shots from the outside. Tip-in attempt by Roach, no good. And a foul drawn, as sinking it is Dusty Becker.
With the left hand.
That's something coaches just love to see, Steve.
Well, you got to like a player who can put up with either hand. You got to like the tenacity there, going after the rebound, got fouled and followed through with the shot.
So with a 14-8 lead, Becker goes to the line. Oh boy. That's something that Jeremy Lane would not have let happen, Steve.
Well, Mark Sipple's just too strong for anybody that Irondale has out there right now. Coach Gunderson calls a timeout at a good time. Doesn't want to let things get too far out of hand before he stems the tie here just a little bit.
His team is down by 8 at 16-8 with 2:32 left on the clock. Mounds View and Irondale, always a good traditional rivalry. The stands here at Mounds View are extremely full. There's going to be $1 million of renovations added to this school once the season is over. About $50,000 of it of wiring, and the other $9,500,000 is going to be capital improvements. The locker rooms are going to be completely redone. Something that I'm sure the players and the coaches have been waiting for a long time.
Sure, and, you know, they could probably use some more seating in here, but you'd really hate to see them change this gym at all. It's such a nice, homey atmosphere for the Mustangs.
And they call it the Jungle. I don't know if that's a salute to the Guns N' Roses popular hit, but if you play here, you know you're going to perspire a little bit, so in that way it is a jungle.
Well, that, and there's plenty of green around.
Irondale down by 8, looking for something to get set up. Vance battling, but now they've got Roach on him, so Sipple can come back out. Shot put up by Merced, that didn't go in. Copeland kicks back out. Little jump pass to Vance. Vance is strong off the iron, and Sipple just blasting people out of the way and traveling with it as he controlled it. Sipple's wearing a piece of tape around his forearm. I can't quite read it.
Says something on there, some sort of message. There's a nice little turnaround by Vance.
Vance did a lot of that in the Spring Lake Park game that we did earlier. 16-10 Mounds View. Ronsky trying to drive baseline, gets it to Sipple, and
oh, he was pushed in the back.
He sure was. Missed that shot.
He got fouled, definitely.
Copeland, big drive. He likes to do that and score it.
Nice looking shot there, Copeland. Not really a scorer for Irondale, but he has 6 points already. There's a chance to add one more.
Foul is on A.J. Ecker, his first and the team's third. Mounds View with 2 to go. And Copeland putting in a free throw, makes it a 16-13 ball game.
5-point run here for Irondale. Big trip down the floor for both squads. There you go.
Sipple gets free. Sipple matching Copeland's point total at 6 from the field anyway.
Nice pass there. Nice entry pass.
18-13. Mounds View. Irondale. Boy, Roach made that drive awful tough. Might have altered the direction of the shot, if not the shot itself.
Still, that was a shot that Hansen should have made.
Big drive inside. That's going to get picked up by Vance on the baseline. Ecker trying to match Copeland's totals. A minute to go here in the first. 5-point lead for the Mustangs. Driving inside and sinking that one.
Hansen.
Rocky Hansen gets his name in the book. Sipple loose underneath. That spells trouble. Bounced off the bottom of the board. So Ecker will have a seat. Big calls substituting liberally as this game progresses. Sipple didn't want to mess with that rebound by Abramson. Copeland to Abramson, who will drive, take it strong to the hoop, and bounced off the stem and out.
You know, Adam Stevens, Charlie's not even in the game anymore. I don't even think he's attempted a shot.
No, I don't think so either, so that's two big pluses for Irondale, not seeing a lot of action tonight. Ryan Ashland, a 6'4" senior in the game for Irondale, wearing number 31. Roach has seen a lot of minutes so far in this game. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Putting up the shot is Becker, and off the glass and harmlessly. A fast-paced first period, which Mounds View concludes by leading 18-15. We'll be back. Mounds View over the Irondale Knights in North Suburban Conference action. The #1 ranked in the state and in the metro, Mounds View Mustangs over the Irondale Knights. And what Ziggy Calls must be thinking right now, Steve, without Jeremy Lane in the game, his team just up by 3.
Actually, I think he's got to be pleased. If Jeremy Lane was in there, it might be a different story, but Irondale's really stepped up their play, playing great defense. That's what's doing it for him so far.
Sipple from the outside, not normally his range. And Irondale has a chance to tie it if they put up a tray.
That man-to-man defense is pushing Irondale away, or I'm sorry, pushing Mounds View away, and is really not allowing anybody too many free shots. There's Adam Stevens.
Stevens puts up the tray. That didn't fall. Strong inside, trying to put up the shot. That came off the bottom of the rim. It's saved by Merced. Here is Vance with the shot. That won't fall. And picking up the rebound is Ben Ruth.
Irondale actually shooting at a high percentage in that first quarter, but they didn't take nearly as many shots. 66% for them. And Mounds View shot about 53%, but shots like that are going to help them.
Ben Ruth, just a 2-pointer. 20-15, Mounds View with the lead. Here as the second period gets underway, along with Steve Glenn, Charlie Stellig. Vance puts up the shot, a little too much English. And back up the line come the Mounds View Mustangs. So far, Sipple has come free for a couple of buckets. Oh, look at that struggle underneath between Vance and Sipple.
They're going to call Sipple on a push.
Sipple his second personal. And that will make the team foul situation 4-3. Mounds View with 1 to give.
Irondale needs to make a shot here.
Vance trying to find some room inside. Nice push in against Sipple.
Nice drive. Nobody slid down to help Sipple. I think that he was expecting some help there.
He was
once Vance
like
got around him. That's going to be on Vance.
Now there's a big battle going on underneath. Vance and Sipple. That is not a physical matchup of any sort. Sipple, in terms of physical strength, much tougher than Vance. But so far, Sipple just coming free for a couple of buckets.
They're back in that zone. It's a 2-3, 2-1-2.
Ball altered on the shot. Nice job by Ryan Ashland. Vance picks up the cripple, and down the floor come the Irondale Knights. Copeland, beautiful job driving inside, and Ashland's got a couple points.
Boy, I thought that could have been a travel.
Yeah, continuation step, huh? 2019, Mounds View down by a point. Big bash inside, and they're going to get Chip Myers. More importantly, that will send Irondale to the line, shooting the bonus with 5:37 left here in the half. So Irondale, not noted as a good free throw shooting team, now has an opportunity to take the lead on a one-on-one. Ball comes off the rim badly for Abramson. And back up the floor come the Knights, or the Mustangs, pardon me. Shot from the outside, just a 2-pointer for Ben Ruth. Zig hasn't changed expression yet. 22-19, the Mustangs with the lead. They want to get it to Vance. How did that get in?
That wasn't too pretty, but
it counts, and it puts Irondale into the lead for the first time.
oh, what's happening, Charlie?
Check that. It's 22-21, Moundsview.
Moundsview is not helping it out at all inside, under the basket. All Irondale has to do is just get around one Moundsview defender, and he's got a lane to the hoop.
Ball touched by Copeland, but it got to Ruth. They'll shoot from the outside again. That's a three-pointer, A.J. Ecker. His second tray of the night. 25-21, Moundsview over Irondale. Pretty
nice
drive from Abramson. He's got a bucket. 25-23, Irondale playing shot for shot with Moundsview so far. That's a walk on the part of Dusty Becker. Frank White right on top of it. And already, Steve, it's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot. Take a look at Mike Vance. He's dragging.
He has been...
Well, he's not used to playing this many minutes, and he's not used to playing against a guy like Sipple. It's a lot more physical than what he's used to.
And he has no backup. There just isn't anybody that can do the job that he's supposed to do. Ashland, however...
Ashland has come off the bench. He's got 6 points.
Vance, Copeland, and Ashland all with 6 points from the field. It's tied at 25. 3:48 left in the period. Shot put up from the outside and banged hard off the rim. The return by Becker, that won't go. Ball batted for, Sipple lost control. And picking it up is Abramson. Big pass that's altered by Sipple, and it will be Irondale ball. Ashland will come out to a big hand from the Irondale fans. And going back in will be Rocky Hansen. Copeland sees a lane, puts up the shot. That banged off the back of the rim and out.
Copeland's got to make those shots. He had it wide open there from about 8 feet.
Roach gets set to come back in for the Mustangs. 25 all, 3:14 left in the half. Number 1 Moundsview being taken to task by Irondale here. That bangs off the rim, and Vance has got it.
I think Mark Sipple is just looking to get into the offense, not taking the shots that Zig would like him to.
Beautiful pass from Vance underneath the Rocky Hansen. Hansen with 4 points from the field, and Irondale does take the lead. 27-25, 2:50 to go here in the second period.
In each minute that Irondale stays close to Moundsview, they're going to get a little bit more confidence, especially without Jeremy Lane in there.
Another traveling. Holy cow. That's something you usually don't see Zig calls his teams do, but they've turned it over twice.
We got wholesale substitutions in there now.
Zig wants fresh troops on the floor. Takes out Eckert, Dusty Becker, and Mark Sipple. Roach and Ronsky go in, along with Eric Olson, a 5'10 senior who's in the game for the first time, wearing number 11. Irondale with the turnover.
Well, Adam Stevens put on such a move that his own man, Wade Kaplan, didn't even know which way he was going.
27-25. Irondale with the lead, 2:21 left. Vance also got a seat with that substitution. Now the ball stripped away by Abramson.
That's a double dribble.
It sure is. So 3 consecutive turnovers here in the last couple of seconds, and it ends up in the Moundsview Mustangs' hands. Walter Perry, a 6'3 senior, wearing number 43, will inbound it for the Mustangs.
Seems like every time we come to this gym, Charlie, we see a good ball game.
Doesn't matter who's playing or what the circumstances are. Bingo, A.J. Ecker, third tray of the night. Makes it a 28-27 game. Mounds View retakes the lead. Copeland took on most of the Mounds View Mustangs, and Abramson said, "Thank you very much."
Well, that Copeland did the right thing there, drew everybody towards him.
Irondale retakes the lead at 29-28. Ronsky, nice drive against Abramson, and in it goes, high off the glass. Back and forth basketball here at Mounds View. Abramson thought about it. Hansen high off the glass, and Ecker brings it down. Ecker thought he saw room, none inside the paint. Roach backs it out to Ronsky, who will make a drive. Little spin move and a spin shot. That's brought down hard by Ryan Ashland.
I think they're going to play for the last shot.
29 seconds left in the half. Mounds View up by a point at 30-29. And for the first time in a long time, it's getting quiet in this gym. Nice pass to Abramson, and won't get the bounce. 7 seconds left. Back up the floor comes Ronsky. Gets it over, and the shot put up in the air just off the front of the rim by Walter Perry, and that's the way it ends. 30-29, the Mounds View Mustangs with the halftime lead here in North Suburban Conference action. We'll be back with our halftime summary right after you see this. Mounds View and Irondale in a classic here at Mounds View Senior High School as the Mustangs have a 1-point lead on the Jeremy Laneless Irondale Knights, 30-29. Steve, it's been a game back and forth, and really you have to be surprised at the tenacity with which the Irondale Knights have played this game so far.
Well, right now I think there's a couple keys for Irondale. One is their defense. They're playing mostly man-to-man, and they're pushing Mounds View away from the basket, which usually Mounds View doesn't mind, except that somebody is in the face of most of their three-point shooters. A.J. Ecker's gotten free a few times and hurt him, but generally they're not giving up that easy three-point shot that Mounds View has shown they can hit all year. And secondly, offensively, they're moving the ball pretty well. Wade Copland has had a great game for him, running the team from the point. He's had some nice drives. He'll dish it off. And where Mounds View's got to improve in the second half is they're not helping out at all. When an Irondale player gets around the Mustang, he's got a free lane to the hoop. Mounds View's got to slide in and help out and not give up those easy layups.
Let's take a look at the scoring summary for the game so far. Pretty balanced scoring all the way through. The missing link for the Irondale Knights, Adam Stevens. It's bad enough that Jeremy Lane isn't even playing tonight due to that injured knee, but Stevens is the guy they need from the outside.
Well, we saw Stevens hit 6 3-pointers against Spring Lake Park earlier in the year, and I don't even think he's taken more than one shot tonight. But the scoring is really spread around. As you can see, nobody's got real big numbers there. Ecker's 9 kind of jumps out at you, but that's just on 3 shots. So both teams are moving the ball around very well and getting everybody, even players off their bench, into the scoring. So I think both coaches are very happy with the way things have gone, and if Irondale can improve its shooting percentage just a little bit, we could have a great game.
Mike Vance, who's played a whale of a game so far, taking on big Mark Sipple, getting back into the game.
I'm sure that he was very appreciative of that 8 or 10 minute rest he had there at halftime. He was looking pretty haggard there by the end of the first half. He's not used to playing this many minutes. It's a hot gym.
He's still grabbing his shorts, which is always the first sign of a tired player. Chuck Gunderson in his first year as head coach behind the specs as we get underway here at Mounds View.
Taking over for Larry Ronglian, who's now with Edina.
And Edina doing pretty well this year for themselves, although Minnetonka, the class of the Lake Blue as it stands. Inside they go to Mike Vance, who was blocked well. The shot will fall on the return from Rocky Hansen. And right away, Mounds View fouling on returns.
Hansen just happened to be in the right place at the right time there. Excellent defense, I believe, by Sippo on Vance to knock the ball away.
In and out. Vance with the shot back.
Vance just tried to shoot that ball while he was still in the air instead of coming down and incurring the wrath of Mark Sipple.
Which is probably a wise course of action. Both teams with their original starters on the floor. Sipple strong to the hoop.
Nice move. Got Vance leaning the wrong way and just went right around him.
Ecker, Myers, Becker, Ruth, and Sipple for Mounds View. Copeland, Stevens, Vance, Abramson, and Hansen for Irondale. Vance thought about it. Got fronted and backed. A.J. Ecker was bothering his right hip. And right away, Mounds View with a chance to take a lead.
Vance has got to hit that shot, though.
Shot from the outside, bangs hard off the rim, and Vance comes away with it. Irondale would like to run, but they'll have to slow it down. They are not a running team.
Although in the first half, they're really pushing the pace of things.
Boy, is there some body banging going on down there.
I'll tell you, Hansen really working hard under there. Got himself 3 shots at it, but unfortunately couldn't put it in.
Just never got a good shot.
Nice D.
Oh, Irondale switching very well. Shot put up by Mounds View from outside, doesn't fall, and back up come the Irondale Knights.
Oh, and they can help it. They're not giving Mounds View any uncontested shots, even from as far out as 20 feet. Nice move.
Oh, underneath, all alone, Rocky Hansen slitting to the basket.
Defensive lapse there. Nice job by Copeland to see him cut and perfect pass.
33-32. The 5th lead change we've had in this game. Underneath, Sipple, and that will fall for Ben Ruth. Foul will be on Hansen. That's his 2nd personal. And Ryan Ashland will come in for Hansen. So Chuck Gunderson, maybe not with all the bullets in his chamber that Zig Calls has at Mounds View, but substituting well.
It's like we've been saying, it's a hot gym, and it'll tire your legs out real quick, and you'll notice that when shots start falling short. Saw Zig Calls there just a minute ago, barking instructions at his players.
Sipple comes down strong with it and lost control of it. That should be traveling. It's not. Irondale trying to come up with it. What hustle by Ecker. Chip Myers, I should say. And the bucket goes to Ben Ruth. Chip Myers simply wouldn't let that ball go. Copeland thought about driving, but Mounds View's doing a better job of picking up that driving guy.
Irondale setting up outside, trying to find a one lone cutter to cut underneath.
Vance, defense nicely by Mark Sipple.
Well, actually, Sipple wasn't the one that did that there. Sipple just held his ground. And Dusty Becker came from behind and blocked that shot. I mean, Sipple's certainly doing the right thing. There's Adam Stevens.
Won't go in. I'll get it out.
Somebody's got to box out.
Boy, I guess so. Ashland, not a physical player at all, but he's free for 8 points.
Well, and all of his points have come on the inside, too. Somebody's not keeping him away from the basket.
That'll be over and back. Ecker, in a rare lapse of concentration, might have jammed his finger when he tried to control that pass. 36-35, Mounds View and Irondale. Mounds View currently with the lead. Lead has changed hands 6 times now. Vance open as Sipple had to leave him alone. There he goes. Sipple thought about it and now takes him on. Cost it too.
I think Vance made a mistake there, Charlie. He should have taken that ball around to the right and tried to go off the glass. Instead, he took the ball into the middle where all the traffic was. Was lucky enough to draw a foul. But still, did not make a good decision. That's 3 on Sipple.
Sipple will come to the bench angry, as you might imagine, and Roach will come in to take his place. Also sitting down, Chip Myers. And Brian Rotsky will take his place. Oh.
Vance throwing up a stone from the free throw line. That's 2 he's had tonight.
Against this team, Steve, Irondale's going to need every free throw they can get.
There you see, averaging 11 points a game.
Not from the free throw line, that's for sure. Another bad shot. Irondale with a chance to score without the clock moving. And to take the lead besides, they don't do either. Shot put up. Oh, you could hear that coming. Ben Ruth. That's 10 points from the field for him.
6th this half. Ben Ruth is kind of hot from that spot.
Now without Sipple in, we'll see how they play the inside. That's a walk on the part of Ashland. Ashland said he didn't move his pivot foot, but he did. So with the turnover, a chance for the Mustangs to take a 5-point or 6-point lead, which is the biggest they've had in the game. Roach, big strong move against Vance.
Well, Roach is coming in fresh. Vance is not. And oftentimes that'll be the difference.
And if to make matters worse, Ronsky going to the bench gave him a little shoulder tap. Vance got spun around, didn't care for that too much. And that's like insult to injury. It's of course not meant to be a harmful thing, but it's more of a mental thing.
More of a in your face.
Well, that's not the right score. It's actually 40-35 with 3:29 left here in the third period of play. Along with Steve Glenn, Charlie Stellick. Hope you're enjoying the action on KABL Channel 52. The Mounds View cheerleaders are. I don't know how anybody can wear a sweater at a game like tonight. I know it's 3 degrees outside, but it's got to be hot inside anything that's got wool in it.
Well, I see guys over there wearing leather jackets too. I mean, I know it's high school and that's the thing to do, but let's take a look at top 10.
Indeed. Mounds View, the team you're watching tonight against Irondale, the #1 spot. Bloomington Jefferson at #2. Minnetonka at #3. Cretin-Durham Hall at #4. Apple Valley at #5. Anoka, White Bear Lake, Coon Rapids, Minneapolis Henry, and St. Bernard's rounding out the top Metro 10. Mounds View on top in the Metro and the state in the polls. Undefeated, the only undefeated Class AA team in the state. 40-35, they lead Irondale. 3:17 left here in the third period. Underneath, turnaround shot, hard off the glass, and Mounds View starting to win the battle underneath, Steve.
Well, and that was just a terrible shot by Adam Stevens. There's a fall away running jumper. It was just a brick.
Ronsky, jump hook.
Irondale's got to do something to stop him.
Right now they need a tray. And that pass knocked away by Ronsky, coming up the floor with it. And a nice pass and blocked. That'll be a foul, but it was a nice all-ball block by Adam Stevens.
Yeah, I thought that Stevens had the ball there. Nice defensive play.
Mounds View running that break pretty well. Ronsky will go to the line. And he'll be shooting 2. In and out. Vance back in the game. He pulls down the rebound. Ashland. He's got to be careful. That's 3 seconds definitely. And driving in for the game.
You're right. Ashland got away with about 8 seconds in the lane there.
2-pointer put in. And Ben Ruth continues his hot shooting. He's got a dozen from the field. 45-27, 2 minutes left in the third. Mounds View starting to pull away. Left open for the shot was Wade Cumberland, who couldn't put it in. It'll be Irondale ball. Sipple will come in. And sitting down will be Ben Ruth. So So a big lineup in now for Mounds View. They've got 6'6" Mark Sipple and 6'5" John Roach in the game. That'll be up against Vance, who is 6'8", but a lean 6'8".
Copeland running the offense out there.
In the game for the first time, Chad Nasheed, a 5'11" junior. Oh, up against the tall timber. The ball did get out somehow from Mike Merced. Ben Ruth will get back into the game. And Chad Nasheed gets saddled with the personal foul. Irondale with 3 team fouls, Mounds View with 2. Dusty Becker takes a seat, with Ruth coming back in.
Don't push off. Don't push off.
I don't know what Ecker thought was going to happen there. But he's lucky that they're going to get the ball back. Ashland will go back in. Nasheed will sit down. Both teams substituting pretty freely.
Well, but their starters are distant out a little bit usually. Getting quick blows. That should be Irondale.
And it is. So they tried to go for the tray to really apply the crusher with a minute left. Irondale watches Mounds View miss. They come back. Irondale needs a bucket here. Abramson ran into a wall and then could not pass the ball correctly.
Well, he thought that Merced was going to stay there, maybe break through the hoop, and Merced went out.
Score has stayed at 45-37 for a while. Ashland comes up with the tip, and Abramson comes down with the ball.
Ashland's had a good game off the bench.
Well, he sure has. He didn't play at all, if I remember correctly, in the Spring Lake Park game.
I don't recall seeing him.
Vance gets a chance to put it in.
Oh, that was kind of a prayer, but
he'll take it. Vance with 8 points. Sipple high posting. Back to Ecker. Sipple at the top of the key. Will put the shot up and over Vance. Hits it. 10 points for Mark Sipple. Shot put up. That won't count even if it went in. And Irondale came into this third period down by 1. It's increased some. 47-39 as we go to the final period of regulation. In a game that has moved right along here at Mounds View Senior High School, Mustangs with a 47-39 lead, as opposed to most of the games we've done so far this year, Steve. Not too many stoppages of play for any reason.
no, it's been a very quick game.
The only time the game has been sent into the bonus situation was with about 5 minutes left in the second period.
Well,
Irondale got there first.
And you often see that with 2 quality ball clubs. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of mistakes.
Mike Vance just could not stop Mark Sipple.
Well, that was a high percentage shot.
Just a little. Big spin move and the dunk. 49-39. Irondale. Vance starts to answer with a little action of his own. Abramson back inside. Tries to take it up against the tall timber, and let's see who gets the foul. Could be one of 3 Mounds View players. They'll put it on Dusty Becker. Sipple, the only player in remote foul trouble with 3. For Becker, that's his first. Team fouls are even at 3. So Irondale needs to score from the free throw line. And Hansen cannot answer.
Irondale has had their problems from the line. Got a quick look at Jeremy Lane there.
Gets the shooter's roll on that one. 49-40. Mounds View down to Irondale. Final period of regulation. Along with Steve Glenn, Charlie Stellick. Hope you're enjoying the action from Mounds View Senior High School as Ben Ruth. He's in a scoring battle with Mark Sipple, his own teammate. Big drive inside. Abramson will draw the foul. Does not get the shot. The way Irondale has shot free throws, that is no advantage at all, Steve.
No, well, especially the way they've been shooting tonight. Abramson's probably one of their best. Scott Belvich, who has been keeping some stats for us tonight, just kind of leaned over and said he didn't think Ben Ruth is missed a shot. That was off correct. He's going to pay for that the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah.
But we mentioned that Ben Ruth is the field goal percentage leader in the conference. You can see why tonight. Also, Mounds View shot better than 75% from the field in the third quarter. And of course, as I say that Abraham's one of their better foul shooters, he throws up a couple of stones.
One wasn't a stone because it didn't hit anything. Ben Ruth, on the other hand, he is just unbelievable tonight. 53-40 as Mounds View pulls away from Irondale.
They're going to give Vance that shot.
Vance will take it, misses. Vronsky comes down with the rebound. Ecker is setting up Sipple on high post, letting him work with a little more room. Sipple back out to Vronsky. Mounds View just playing a passing game now, wearing down Irondale even more. Vronsky was supposed to go to the hoop and never got there.
No, pass just a little bit high. I think that he might have been pushed in the back. Don't know if it would have made a difference or not, but got a quick look at Chuck Gunderson calling out his offensive signals.
Frank White hands the ball to Ryan Ashland, who's played himself a whale of a game from the bench. Ben Ruth taking it away from Ashland. Let's see what the call is. It'll be Irondale ball. Jam-packed gym at Mounds View Senior High School, 53-40. The home team Mustangs enjoying the lead. Three-pointer put up. Doesn't fall for Rocky Hansen. And Ashland, a little too strong in his efforts to try and get to that ball. Stevens, kind of the missing man in the game so far for Irondale, comes back into the game. Just has been not heard from tonight. Shot does not come down, and Sipple, fourth personal foul as he was trying to strip it away from Ryan Ashland. Sipple, his fourth personal foul, and the team fouls are even at 4. Now check that, make that the fifth team foul on Mounds View, so Irondale goes to the line, which so far has not been a decided advantage for them.
There's one. Haven't seen much of that.
Not from the guys in the gold shirts, anyway. In and out. 53-41, Mounds View with the lead. And bringing it up will be Dusty Becker. Foul on Stevens as he reached inside. And that will send Mounds View to the line in the bonus for the rest of this game. 5:22 left in it. Myers scoring from the free throw line. There you saw his performance against St. Francis. 5 of 7 from three-point line. Myers, along with Ecker and Ruth and Dusty Becker, all of them can shoot the three-pointer. Breaking free underneath, and count it for James Abramson.
That was a nice move. Nice little reverse.
Makes it a 12-point game at 55-43 with 5 minutes left in it. Mounds View, big drive for Ecker, and he'll be fouled as he went in.
Copeland, I believe.
I think now that Mounds View is in the bonus, Steve, you're going to see a lot more penetration. They know they've got an Irondale team that's tired, and they can take advantage of them.
Well, Mounds View seems to be doing a better job here late of spreading things way out and trying to get Sipple or somebody else underneath where they can either draw the foul or just have room to work. A.J. Ecker having a good game tonight.
3 3-pointers. I believe he was 3 for 3 from the field where that was concerned. Nails the pair. Mounds View just keeps it going against the Irondale Knights. Abramson tries another reverse. Vance pushed from behind as he tried to follow. And Ronsky takes the ball after it was tipped initially.
There's Ben Ruth.
Bingo.
The guy's unconscious.
When you got it, when you're hot, you go for the rock.
Nice there, a little fade away by Abramson.
Suddenly the pace of the game picks up a little bit. Irondale going to a 2-3 type zone press. Back they come. That one will bounce off from Myers' hand. Irondale, ooh, almost a steal. That'll be put up by Stevens, who nails the three-pointer. Stevens, first time in the field goal book for him. Couldn't have come at a better time. 59-48. Mounds View with the lead. 3:59 and counting here in the fourth and final period. Sneaking free underneath is Ecker. He called that, I should say Myers, he called that play from half court.
And a nice little pass by Hransky to see him.
Stevens, he thinks he's got the hot hand. Does not fall. Sipple strips it down. Ben Ruth, about the only way you can stop him is to foul him. And Frank White calls one. Foul is on Ashland. That's his second personal. Sheed will come in. And out will come Ashland.
Well, Ben's not infallible.
He's not God after all. Although Irondale would probably quibble with that assessment. Misses the pair, but Ronsky with the foul. 63-48. It's quickly becoming one of those games that Mounds View is famous for. Figure out what a team is doing to you, and then tear them apart in the fourth period. Vance, nice move after keeping the ball away from pressure on both sides. Irondale goes into the press. It works. Coming up with the ball.
That was a double dribble.
Sure was, but it won't be converted as Rashid picks it up. Outlet from Sipple back over to Becker, who throws it away. That'll be over and back. Well, even though they're up by 13, Steve, you can still see the competitive fire in all of the Mounds View players' face.
You bet. They don't even want to keep it close. At this point, 13-point lead. It's nice, certainly not insurmountable. They're the #1 team, and they want people to know why.
15-0 in the overall scheme of things. 9-0 in the conference, and looking to make it 10 in a row. Rashid, big drive inside, and that's a foul. I believe they'll call it on Ruth as Abramson tried to drive in. At this point, Mounds View really doesn't care about the fouls because Irondale has not been very good from the line. They'll call it on Ronsky.
Foul is on Ronsky. That's his second personal.
And Stevens will go to the line. In and out, does not fall. It's brought down hard by Ruth. Ronsky off a screen from Sipple. Sipple tipped that ball. And bringing it back in was Nasheed. Nice job by him. Copeland sees a lane, decides to put it up. And I think that's it on Mark Sipple. Nope, check that. That'll be called on Ecker. That's just his second personal, and Mounds View will call timeout. .2:14 left here in the ball game as the Mustangs have called timeout. 63-50 their lead. Irondale, that guy with a t-shirt that says the posse is back, would certainly like to have him back. But Chuck Gunderson told me before the game, Steve, it's not a major injury, it's just one that needs a lot of therapy. And Jeremy Lane could certainly help along with this kind of average for the Mounds View, for the Irondale Knights. 63 scored and 57 allowed. Mounds View not anywhere near the top in the category range as far as scoring or allowing them. But there they are, the number one team in the state.
Well, you see it, that's about a 12-point differential, and they've got 13 tonight, so we get a look at a couple of young, we'll assume Mounds View fans.
They're wearing that green and white corsage, you'd have to think so.
These two schools are so close, though, that hard to tell. Quite a few Irondale people here, too.
Wade Copeland makes a rare free throw for Irondale. Irondale has missed two one-on-ones and two two-point, or I should say two shot opportunities. But here, Copeland makes the pair. Irondale putting on a press. Mounds View gets through it.
Nice job by Mounds View to break it.
Mounds View sending people to the paint, but Irondale picking them up. Mounds View knowing if they pick it up, they're going to be pressured immediately, and instead, it's Stevens committing the foul. Not, I think, what Chuck Gunderson would like to have seen. Sipple will come back in for perhaps the final 143 as Ben Ruth will sit down. $19 points for Ben Ruth. All from the field. One doesn't fall. And back up comes Nasheed. Nasheed trying to pull a Michael Jordan type move.
Abramson.
And Abramson gets the follow on a tip-in. 63-54. Irondale cutting it to less than 10, which is a moral victory for them. Big mistake by Sipple the first time to try and dunk it, but he follows his own shot. Copeland, ball tipped as he tried to dribble inside the paint. Too many green and white arms bashed it away, and now Irondale pulls a little bit of their own medicine. Abramson with his second tip in about 10 seconds. 65-56. 2-on-1, it's Vance. He'll have to take a charge or give it to Sipple. It's picked off instead by Copeland. Copeland, 50 seconds left. Kicks it back out. Stevens, three-pointer. Off the front of the rim. Stevens with the recovery. Drives baseline. That doesn't fall. Stevens still keeps it alive. He'll set up from three-point range. Now fires it inside to Abramson. Down it goes.
And a quick timeout.
One timeout left for Irondale. 65-58. The score with 35 seconds left in the game. Well, all of a sudden,
a little furious there.
Well, the thing that's surprising me, Steve, is that Irondale still has enough steam left to work a good press.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job, and I think it was a welcome timeout for Zig, even though he didn't call it, because he's got to tell his guys, move that ball around, make them foul you. You know that Irondale's got to foul now because they want to stop the clock, come down, maybe put up a couple of quick three-pointers.
That's about the only way the Knights could get back into it, unless they get a couple of turnovers. Ziggy Calls was very surprised the way his team has played this year, Steve. Last year they looked up the turnover figures and then compared them to, I should say, they looked at the turnover figures from last year and compared them to this year's, and Mounds View is down like 60 turnovers from this point last year.
Unbelievable. I don't think anybody really expected Mounds View to, you know, I'm sure that they thought they were going to be good, but I don't think anybody expected them to be undefeated at this point in the season and ranked number 1.
Well, they took care of all their competition at the Faribault tournament, and from there on have just cruised.
There's what 22 years of coaching basketball will do for you.
Ball never touched the floor.
And he had the floor spread out as far as he could.
Foul.
Fouls on the sheet, his second, and going to the line will be Ronsky.
Ronsky at the line, shooting 1-1.
1-on-1 opportunity. No, that won't fall. Somehow the ball was brought down by Dusty Becker. They're going to call that a tie-up. And it'll be Irondale ball on the arrow. Copeland.
They can't waste too much time here, Charlie.
No,
they got to put up a
can't.
shot.
That's got to go a three-point land at least. Saved by Ronsky. Brought down by Vance. Vance will put up an off-balance shot that somehow goes in. 65-60, a 5-point lead now for Mounds View with 8 seconds left, and another timeout called by Irondale, their last one.
Look, Irondale there got a little bit out of what they wanted to do. I'm sure that Coach Gunderson wanted to come up, set them up on the perimeter for a good shot at the basket. There was 25 seconds left when they got the ball, and 17 of those elapsed.
If you're going to go to that dance, you have until 10 o'clock to go down and purchase your ticket and go to the dance. So make your plans.
The announcement in the background, there's a dance. Now this is something you and I both like to see, a social activity after the game, something that we were used to in high school, but the announcement says that you got to pick up your tickets by 10 o'clock. You look at your watch at a game that started at 7:30. It's now 10 to 9. I don't think anybody will have any problem picking up ducats.
It's nice having the dance right here after the game, though, because that brings the students to the game. So many of the games we've seen over the past few years, there's just not that many students there. I'll tell you, when we were going to school, it was the place to be, whether it be, you know, football, basketball, baseball, track, or whatever. Seems like all the students went everywhere.
Fouling immediately is Wade Copeland.
Foul.
Just 1 second elapsed.
That's just exactly what Chuck Gunderson wanted, and going to the line will be A.J. Ecker, who has a pair of free throws in tonight's game. Amazing scoring figure on Eckert. Points have either come from outside the three-point line or at the charity stripe. With this one, it no longer becomes a two-possession game, and that is it. Stevens puts up the three-pointer. That'll hammer high off the rim and back of it with 2 seconds left. It'll be Mounds View ball. But for all intents and purposes, Ecker's last free throw sealed the game. They hold it, and with that, the victory, a hard-fought one, comes to the Mounds View Mustangs. 67-60. Irondale, without the services of Jeremy Lane, make it a 7-point game on the Mounds View Mustangs. We'll be back with the final summary right after this. It was a 1-point game at half. Mounds View had the lead. They make it a 67-60 final, but the game in the middle of the second period, or second half, Steve, pretty much all Mounds View Mustangs.
Well, Irondale started out the second half really pretty well, and toward the end of the third quarter and beginning of the fourth quarter, they just really went cold. Mounds View stepped up their defense quite a bit to force Irondale to take some pretty poor shots, and I'll tell you, they showed, Mounds View showed why they're number one. The tenacious defense, excellent shooting, got the ball inside, got the ball outside, spread the scoring around, and just did a great job. Had a excellent time beating the press there late in the game. got to the free throw line and made most of their free throws. So they did it all. And Irondale, I think, played very, very well, especially considering that, they were without Jeremy Lane. I honestly don't think that he would have made a difference in tonight's game. I mean, he would have made a difference, but I don't believe so in the one-loss column. There you see Mark Sipple, one of the big stars for Mounds View tonight. And they just did a great job, and this is one of the big games of the year, and we're getting towards tournament time. So I think that Zig and the boys are happy to have this one under their belts and kind of coast into the sectionals from here.
Yeah, that's one thing I talked to Zig Calls about earlier before the game, and they're not afraid of going into the regions undefeated. I mean, some coaches, or some people I should say, and the coaches never do, some people might think that a loss before the regions is the best thing for them, kind of get the team lively again, but I don't think Mounds View is complacent with anything they've done. You saw that in their faces tonight. Even though they had at one time a 13 or 14 point lead, they were still playing with a lot of fire, and that you have to admire them for.
Well, at this point in the season, especially for Mounds View, because they are undefeated, I think a loss would have really taken the wind out of their sails. At this point, they, being number one team, sure, people are going to get up for them, but they're also going to think, hey, these guys are number one. They've got 4 or 5 different guys who can hit double figures. We've got to stop Sipple. We've got to stop Ben Ruth. So I think that by keeping the winning going, that they've got what they need for them to keep that fire going. Hey, could you imagine anything better than going, 25-0 or whatever it would turn out to be? And that is something to shoot for, and I think that these guys have the talent from what I've seen tonight to do it.
The coachable talent. They're very unselfish. They shoot well. They do all the little things they need to do to win a ball game. Let's take a look at the scoring summary for tonight's game. And there you see it, as Steve mentioned, balanced scoring for the Mounds View Mustangs. 3 players in double figures. Ecker with 13, most of that from three-point range. Ruth with 19, he's the leading scorer for the game, and Sipple with 14. Copeland with 9, Abramson with 14, Vance with 12. A big player off the bench for the Irondale Knights, Ryan Ashland, who also scored in double figures for the Irondale Knights tonight.
Ashland had 11 points, so as you see, Irondale, again, with very balanced scoring. They played a very good game tonight. Their shot selection really suffered there at the end of the third period, beginning of the fourth period, and that's what hurt them. Then also, I think because they didn't have Jeremy Lane in there, they lost a little bit of rebounding, so they weren't getting a lot of second shots, and defensively, they were not blocking out, and consequently, Mounds View got a few putback baskets, but when you got guys like Ben Ruth who can hit from, 20 feet, or get the ball into Sipple who can move, he was showing some great moves around the basket tonight, they're tough to stop, and unless Mounds View just has a terribly off night in the near future, I don't see anybody having an easy time stopping them.
No, certainly not. From what we've seen in the Twin Cities Suburban Conference so far, which would be most of the Mounds View Mustangs competition in the regions, I don't see any team that's as well balanced and plays as well as the Mustangs do. I think you're absolutely right. One more thing for Irondale, free throw shooting really hurt them too, missing 2 two-point opportunities and 2 one-on-ones at crucial times in the game did not help the Knights either.
Well, it was a 7-point difference at the end of the game, and I'll bet they missed at least that many. And it's not just the points, but it's also the lift that'll give a team or actually deflate them. In a one-on-one situation, or we saw Mike Vance throw up a couple of real bricks from the free throw line, and that will just, you think, boy, we got a chance to tie it or take the lead, and when you miss them, you just, kind of thug, and you sag back and you have to play defense, but for just a second or two, your heart's not in it. It can really kind of turn the momentum of a game around, but Irondale, you really got to hand it to them tonight. They did a great job with what they had. Chuck Gunderson did a nice job on the bench, but